Welcome back. This is part three of a virtual tour of Da Nang, continuing right where we left off on Dien Bien Phu. This street is named in commemoration of the battle of the same name, a historic defeat of the French Union South Asian Expeditionary Force by the outmatched North Vietnamese army. The battle would take place between the 13th of March and 7th of May in 1954. It would be the catalyst that would expand coalition operations in Vietnam and ultimately American participation. Dien Bien Phu, as you can see, is a beautiful, large, divided boulevard, having an additional right turn lane for much of its length and extra street parking. Landscaped with beautiful palm trees and shrub arrangements. It is a beautiful representation of some of the modern architectural and landscaping boulevards that are being built around Vietnam. But again, the street rules of the road are the same. You just kind of got to get in. That guy almost clipped me. Coming up here on the right, or I'm sorry, on the left, is a funeral procession beginning to start. You can see the truck with all the flowers on top. In the image below, you can see where we are on Dien Bien at the X. We're getting ready to go through a tunnel under the Nguyen Tri Phuong intersection. And up ahead on the left, as we come out of the tunnel, you'll see a large mall and commercial development on the left just outside of the tunnel, complete with bowling alley, modern theaters, and of course restaurants and shopping. Starlight Bowling Arena, I believe is the name. And there you can see it right there on the left. Pretty good sized area. See, we're getting ready to cross under a pedestrian bridge that goes over Dien Bien Phu. We're actually right next to the airport, so the north section of the airport is going to be to our right. We'll have to turn up here. If we turned up here and took a right, we would actually be able to go into the airport, but we're not going to do that. We're going to continue on straight. And right now, this is one of the busier intersections in the city we're getting ready to come up to. Three different streets come together to form this intersection: Le Duan, Dien Bien Phu, and Lai Tai To. You can see those marked in circle on the image below. We're going to turn left onto Le Duan, though my favorite intersection in Da Nang to drive through. It is just absolutely insane sometimes. And we're going to continue down Le Duan towards the Han River Bridge. Now, this is Le Duan. It is one of the more modern streets in Da Nang. You can find all of your high-end retailers selling everything from Gucci to Adidas. And the shops here will have mostly legitimate merchandise. I think you have to go to the regular markets, the little open-air, wet markets, to find the knockoffs. Some of the more interesting names of the shops here. There's a Dennis's, actually, a Dan's, an Eric's, and the aptly named Bitches for all your sassy clothing needs. And again, just people just weaving in and out, trying to get through. Actually, coming up here is going to be one of the few actual red light intersections in the city. Le Duan takes kind of a strange dogleg to the right here. I think just because of the angles that the streets come in, they've actually put in red lights. But yeah, this is a pretty busy intersection, and for the most part, in intersections like this, people follow the rules. You don't really see too many people running red lights here, or just acting completely inappropriately. Now, if you come across a red light on a street that's not a main thoroughfare, people will blow through the red light. Just if you're ever driving around or in Da Nang, just know that green means go, yellow means continue to go, and red means go. It just does sometimes. And you can see people will just randomly just pull out. I think there's somebody coming the wrong way down the road. And another one. And this guy's just going to pull right on out in front of us. Yeah, it's just the way it is. It pulls out and just slows down to crawl. That's pretty typical. And you can see all the different shops and stores lining the street. See this guy trying to make a left-hand turn on his rickshaw. Yeah, this street, the one actually does have parking for all the retail, so the road isn't that wide, and the bike lane, as you can see in front of us here, is not very wide, so that it gets a little tricky sometimes. Like this, there's no light here at this intersection, and people just kind of going in and out and weaving around. So we got another red light. Again, there's one cross street here, and red light placement here is kind of random, in my opinion. The blues, you just saw that on the left. We went in there to try to find some clothes for me, and nothing was even close to my size. Now we are getting ready to come up on the Han River Bridge. And actually up here on the right is this great little Che spot that Jim and I enjoy. You can get a cold beef and green papaya salad and Che desserts, which are usually chunks of some type of jello or pudding or fruit or even beans in like a sweet liquid, a sweet syrup kind of thing. It's pretty good, very refreshing, and sometimes we swing by and grab something to eat on the way home at night. At least when we were working at the shop on this side of town. And you can see the arbors that start to cross the street, the little steel arbors up above us. Those are usually lit up pretty beautifully at night. And the street is going to kind of get tightened up here. You can't, once we get a little further down the road, you can't enter or exit the road. It's blocked. You have to go across the bridge. I think they do that to keep bottlenecks from happening on this side of the bridge, because the side of the bridge is much busier than the other side of the bridge. Anyway, that Che restaurant we just passed, we saw a big red sign on the side, Che House. So again, this road's going to become less accessible for others, and we're just going to kind of meander on through all this crazy traffic through this intersection. This should be the last intersection before it gets blocked off. Yeah, you can see the little barriers that are starting up on the left here, and it'll be like that pretty much through the river and across the bridge. So again, we're coming up on the Han River Bridge, a unique bridge. It actually pivots at its center for the most of the expanse of the bridge. And at midnight every night, the bridge turns perpendicular to itself to allow riverboats and other transport vessels to go up and down the river to the city. It returns to its road phase at 4 a.m. every day. I'll actually put an image down in the corner where you can see it's actually turned at night. The bridge opened to traffic in 2000, and it was the first bridge built by the Vietnamese to access the peninsula since the U.S. military built the Can Nguyen Van Troy Bridge in 1965. So now we're crossing the Han River back onto the Son Tra Peninsula and Asian Highway 17. You can see the Monkey Mountain there in the distance. That's the direction towards our apartment. And up here on the right will be the modern Vincom Plaza, which is basically a mall like any other in the U.S. It's got all kinds of boutique shops and Western eateries. We go there and get fried chicken sometimes. It's very nice. And there's an ice skating rink on the top floor, so it's a pretty cool little place. And here we're about to dump back onto Asian Highway 17 and come to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash that like button or subscribe for more videos. Stay tuned for part 4. We will be crossing Dragon Bridge and do a little exploring of our current home, Da Nang City.